some articles for post-processing. So please remember that even your end users, if they will want to use post-processing services, first they need to subscribe to some kind of relevant article. So we have created this one, Rhinex request service article. So for these testing purposes, since it is basically the subscription period was set to 1 month, so it is also possible to configure number of epochs that each user with the subscription to this article can actually download or request per 1 subscription period. So in this case, 1 month subscription period, the number of epochs that the user can request is 10,000. So this is something what is called a quota. You can see this consumption limit for Rhinex files to 10,000 epochs. And remember that if these epochs are not consumed within the same subscription period, you can allow the user to transfer these remaining epochs to the next subscription period, if this is what you want to do. So these are the settings that you can configure for Rhinex download service. So we can also give some strange price like this. And then I created another article which is called Online Computation Service. So this one basically, after subscription, allows the end user to upload Rhinex file from there over to the web portal, and the web portal will perform computation. So we have included these two post-processing products, coordinate computation for static and stop and go. This is what we tested yesterday, and we didn't have time to test this coordinate computation of kinematic data. So this is what we are going to do now, because the result will look slightly different. I mean, the final report will look slightly different. So yesterday I gave you 3 files testing. One was just a static file from station Harare, which is just here. And so basically the automatic settings of post, and it selected 4 nearest stations, computed 4 baseline, and computed some kind of average position. I used the same file to create a stop and go Rhinex file, which means that this Rhinex file combines static and kinematic sections. And then you could see that actually the export component will automatically extract only those static parts and compute coordinates only for the static parts. Now, kinematic Rhinex basically means that the rover, when it's collecting data, is constantly moving with a certain data rate. And with this kinematic post-processing, the export will try to compute position for every epoch. So every time when the rover moves data, it's probably 1 second or 5 seconds. And for every epoch, it will try to compute a position. And basically, this kind of long list of positions that can be exported to different formats, as you will see. Once again, the process is similar to basically to static or stop and go.
Hello.
So you go to post-processing, computation, and once again, you can use the project name, for example, coordinate computation kinematic. And simply you add all the data. So basically, this is data typically collected on the rover or Genesis receiver operating in the field. So now select this kinematic version. And once again, you will see the first position, which is read from the header of the Rhinex file. Once again, it's very close to station Zingsa, because Harare is 500 meters away from here, Harare core site. So this is the first position read from the header of the Rhinex file, and then you see information about the receiver, about the antenna, about the start time of the observation. So you have slightly different one because of the local time of the micro. And then you once again see this verification that failed because this Rhinex file does not contain the real antenna, only this mathematic or this decomputed BPQL antenna. Yes.
So basically, our base of training, what do you complete this? Isu takakangana mapasage tivhurirewo kamuri maadministrate utoona kuti passage rangu rangu richi passage raiti haaroni delete
So I have to create another one.
That means
ndipo wagoni link yeah
four one dot 184.62.
184 dot akunavisa time na Sunday. Musazona amukira kutuka murungu yangu. Musazona jo ni mushiki. Na amukira kutuka murungu. Ni mushatu bele. Sisi hawo. Saxona za to para chitoda kuizwa. I guess. Fair. Saxona chitoda. Kaza mta kuizwa. So account is not registered in the message. Kwanza uone username aripo ajazo username yangu ya chanzo password unamuzi madwini ayos awuzo na unamuzi yeye ndo mtere yeye chenye mtere mchezo za kusa stake
username yako in the user
You will not hear this. You can copy them. It's called power. But we need to make a subscription first to these articles. So,
As a user.
as a user, yes. So you need to log in as a user, subscribe to an article or to both articles, in fact. And
What's the new? What is the name? There's a Kumar.
Tomorrow page will not say
Kaduzan, the man. Uta Kaduzan. That's the username. Like concatenated. Mm. That's an administrator account. I don't know if you have
email.
they use another one.
We still need to administrate the account.
No, on this one, I think you need to use a user. The privilege is to administrate.
so you need some help with your account, or you remember your
There's
credentials?
another one.
Yes.
I think, yeah,
Normally,
this one.
last time, okay.
I don't know what kind is that?
Hope 2020.
Because remember, during the last training session, actually at the beginning you created your user account, and then you also created an administrator account so that you could also perform this administrator tasks.
Task.
So this is why each of you normally should have actually two accounts. Zuka, you have two accounts, yes. You see, Zuka is user and Zuka is administrator. So, Cuthbert, you have actually even more.
It's just two.
I know it's two, one administrator, one user. So for Patty, yes, since she didn't remember the password, and I actually she created a new. Yeah, she created a new account and yeah, but both are users. You know, to make an administrator first, either the administrator needs to create the account manually, or user will create a user account using this automatic subscription process, and then administrator can change it to administrator account. So this one is used for some kind of subscription. So this is and so this one,
And the file.
yeah. So here, for example, she has a second account called Patty. We don't know you. Sorry. So this is a user account because she used this automatic create account procedure. So basically, as an administrator, I can change her privilege to administrator. Save and close. So then, when she connects with when you connect with this, you will log in to administrator.
So I have a password for the administrator.
I thought that you created a new account yesterday.
No,
You didn't.
No,
Sorry.
you have to do it later.
Yeah, I thought yes. And I thought that you did it in the meantime. Okay, so no. So then registration date, yes, 13th of December, 13th of October. So this is the account that was created actually the last training session, right? So and you don't remember the. Okay, so I'll delete this one. You can create a new one. So this is the one that you remember. This is the user account with these two subscriptions already. And if you create a new one, then make an administrator. And so for you, sorry, what is your name?
Water that was.
Walter.
Yeah, but I think
Yeah, you have this one. Walter.
yeah.
Bob 2022. Bob Wine. So this is your user account. So normally here, you have no subscriptions with this one. So and that one, the other one. As administrator, yeah, you have also no subscription. So normally, You should log in with this Bob 2020, or is it this one? Bob 2022, and subscribe to this post producing articles. Yeah, due to this GDPR, we are not able to tell you anymore the password. So even as administrator, I cannot see. I cannot visualize your password. So once you have, or the end users, once they have set up their password, they don't remember them. The only option is to use this forgotten password functionality here. So if you use this forgot password and type in your IP, sorry, email address, then the system will send you instructions how to reset your password. So, right. So let's go now back to this. Post processing, as we said, for computation. You can give the project a name, content computation kinematic. We'll add raw data. So once again, if you select this kinematic Rhinex file, you will see more or less the same obviously before, but you can already see that the system has automatically detected the type of Rhinex file. So for end user, actually, it's very easy. The end user just needs to concentrate on collecting data in the field, and then basically export the measurement in the Rhinex file, and the system can automatically detect what type of field works have been performed. If you press submit, then basically see here is the size of the file, which is less than 150 megabytes, which means the system will accept it. And press confirm. Once again, the user portal will redirect you to the results section, where you can already see that the system is working. So this time it can take a bit longer to see. As I said, if you don't want to wait, you can simply log out and wait for the email to arrive. So normally, if I open my Gmail account, then the system should send a notification. Yeah. So it's still working. I see. Your request for the computation is finished. So after I have received this this email, I can simply click on the link to redirect me to the login session. If I log in, it takes me to my results, and I see the results of kinematic computation. So if you open this preview, you will see that basically the preview will only show you the first coordinate of this line. So there was a 60-minute long basically file. So you see, if we switch the details, we have the time of the first observation, we have the occupation types, kinematic, so more or less the same what we saw before. And if we, but what is different here, we can see different outputs that you can basically get out of exports. The first one is the report, the same as here. So we'll show the full report, and now we will see, compared to what we saw yesterday, it looks like different. First of all, it takes a bit longer to generate, because all these results actually are taken or extracted from the database. So the report is actually built on the way, or on the fly, I would say. It doesn't exist. It's not stored on the device or somewhere else. It is just an extract from the database. So once again, we see these user details as yesterday, something related to basically when the file was processed, which version. And then we have some kinematic results. We see the information about the uploaded file. So it was, this is the receiver, this is the antenna. So This type of set of epochs is called a track. So we have the type of the track and type of the track and number of positions, 3,600. And here you can see 4 core stations which were selected. Once again, we have some information about the core stations. Then we have overview of processing parameters for each of the baselines. So you can see that from Zinsa, since it was a site that was very close, processing parameters were different here. It didn't use some kind of minimized solution. So the system adopts the processing parameters to the distance between the motor and the core stations. And then we have the results in this type of coordinate system. So coordinate systems are topic for today. So after we finish this one, we're going to talk about different coordinate systems using GNSS. So the first, I would say the most important, the most used coordinate system is W84. So here we have latitude, longitude, and height, and we have standard deviation. So we can see the solution type is phase space. So all these 3,600 points are computed with centimeter accuracy. With this type of, this is the expected accuracy of this solution. So if you go down, you basically scroll down to the bottom, which should be the end of this W84 coordinates. And we have also, geodetic format, latitude, and here we have also W84 now, but in this Cartesian format, so X, Y, Z. So once again, good standard deviations, which means that good curves or solution, that's it. We have these 2 lists of points in the report, and information about the course of processing. So obviously this is a report which is nice, but not so practical. So for that reason, it is possible to export different formats. So you can export to CSV. And then the export to CSV will look something like this with some heavy information, summarizing all this in the report. And then you have parameters of processing for all the stations. So once again, similar to this in the report, and then you have coordinates. So from here, it's already possible to copy paste or extract Excel or to import coordinates to different software. So this is the list of 3,600 points with coordinates in standard deviation. So we have the same for Cartesian here, and that's once again the end of the file. As I mentioned yesterday, this computation requests, they can be combined with transformation. So since we have no coordinate system defined and no local coordinate system defined, so the results can be only this native coordinate system for GNSS, which is called WD84. But later on, when you will compute the transformation, or when you will define your new datum, and you look for new link local system, then you can basically directly convert or transform these coordinates, which is this native GNSS coordinate system, to your local listing of Greek coordinates. You can even use trade model if you want, things like that. So let's go back to the results again. And we have 2 more options here for export. This is export to KML. So if you click this one, it will create a KML file, and you can directly open it in Google Earth. So since basically this kinematic file was once again generated from the core station in Harare, then basically you can see that all points, all 600 points, are more or less located the same place, same location, because it was generated by this core station. So now we see where the core station is actually. But I will show you some real output of kinematic file, which means that One, when the rover was really moving around, so we collected some data in Switzerland, and now we're flying to Switzerland. So this is our company, and so a colleague of mine, he took her over, and he was walking in this kinematic mode along the street. So you can see, you can generate this kind of, can collect data in this form. You can export and visualize it directly in Google Earth, for example. If you click on this side, you will see the coordinates. Once again, these are coordinates that I've used before. You can see the accuracy. So once again, this robot was basically the segment of the solution. It's very easy in this way to perform some kind of measurement of linear objects flows at very, very high accuracy. So this is a third output that you can generate out of this kinematic post-processing request. The fourth one is some kind of built-in track, which basically shows the results in this online OpenStreetMap. So unfortunately, as you can see, we don't have a scale here, so but more or less all points were very concentrated, all 3,600 points were really concentrated around the central position, so it once again shows a very good result. This kinematic post-processing. So this is what you can do with this kinematic or generally speaking post-processing request. The last thing which I want to show you is actually this transformation service. But since you do not have any transformation service, I'm going to show you how it works on our demo installation in Switzerland. So this is our demonstration installation for our customers. So the last service that you can basically offer to your users is this transformation service. And once again, it works in a it's very user-friendly, it's very easy to use. I just hope that this will work now. So once again, this is a user portal for our demo installation, so you can see that we have some more links here. We're going to talk about these links tomorrow when we talk about accuracy or the quality estimation of your services and products. So in post-processing, we have one more service called transformation. And once again, the view is more or less the same as before. And so I'll look on transformation service test. So imagine that the rover will collect data or measure data in the field in this native WZD coordinate system. Then obviously this system is not very practical.
Yeah, you still logged in the meeting.
Yes.
Yeah, I think you're around.
No.
Okay, I cannot see you. You had disappeared.
I disappeared, but now I reappeared. Okay,
Then if you have
I have it minimized. Do I need to have it open? Because you see this one, I minimized it to my.
maybe we can just put it in the background. Wait, maybe you can put minimize it.
Okay, so I'll keep it. Right.
You share the screen as well.
And I'm not sharing. Oh. Yes, you're right.
It's okay. Nice.
Okay. Correct. So imagine the rover works in real time or in post-processing in the field, but he doesn't know the parameters of the transformation to the local system. So all the end user needs to do, he or she needs to create an input file with the coordinates. Where is this input file now? Okay. The input file basically looks like this. So it's a CSV file, point name, and then Cartesian XYZ coordinates. So this is X, this is Y, this is Z, and this is some kind of geometry. So there is no module height. So basically XYZ, which is the direct output of GNSS measurements, or measurements. So this is one of the supported formats. There are other supported formats, but if the end user selects this file, then once again, the Expos will read the coordinates. It will display the coordinates in the map, and it will see how many. It will also basically show the list of coordinates here. So if the input file is fine, then basically all that is necessary is to select the transformation that the end user basically wants to apply. So you can configure as many coordinate systems, as many transformations as you want. And then basically if you select one and press submit, then basically you confirm the request. And once again, you are redirected to the results page, the transformations, and here you will see a list of original coordinates. No, these are not original coordinates. These are transformed coordinates into local system. So this is the easting, northing, and this is a so-called orthometric height, which is linked to geometry. And then we have XYZ, or local Cartesian coordinate in the local system for all these points. So this is how basically the end users, even if they do not know the transformation parameters, they can use this transformation service of Expos, import the measurements in WGS84, and immediately get results in the local system. For example, this Gauss curve or anything else. And obviously, this can be once again exported to CSV file, where you would see the original coordinates. So this is the WGS Cartesian coordinates, and then you see transform Cartesian coordinates, transform grid coordinates. So easting, north. So this is geodetic. So this is latitude, latitude, longitude, and height, and then we have easting, northing, and northing. So a full basically set of coordinates. As you can see, transformation parameters are not shown here. This is done on purpose because in some countries this information is classified. So information about the coordinate system, how they can be linked to, for example, to WGS84 or to ITRF. This information is classified, so it is not allowed to publish these parameters. So this is why this series is also good for this type of countries, because also what you can also do, you can simply publish the transformation parameters to local system, and then everybody can apply those parameters on their rover, for example. So this is one way, and then basically the rover operator or the end user needs to manage the transformation. Or you can have some kind of centralized tool, such as exports and transformation service, where everybody will just upload the measurements directly in WGS84 system, and the result will be basically generated by exports. So this is an overview of basically what you can do with your post-processing services. Any questions about this? So once again, even that just okay, I see new subscription is ordered. User of online. So as an administrator, I go to subscriptions. I see free subscription is pending. Online computation RTK. Okay, so don't forget that you still need to subscribe to Rhinex download. So this is one if you want to. In fact, there is one more thing that we should, yes, online computation. Yeah, you should still subscribe to Rhinex requests if you want to have access to. And in fact, I've realized yesterday that this usage, this live usage, so basically the site status and the rover status, so these are the services which are working, but once again, we don't have any, I know we did not define yet any for those. So basically, end users cannot subscribe to these. So once again, if you go to articles, we should create at least one article, or we can even separate two articles. One article name would be rover status, for example. Article number 1.6. The public description will be rover operation. Okay. Well, yes, article for real-time access, not real-time access, for real-time status access for rover, so that the end users, they can see and manage their rovers.
Wakarako sasa. Don't take that one.
So once again, give it 1 month.
Incredible. But I think it is slow.
Free of charge. Products, I will add, there's no rover status, okay. So I've created this one, rover status, and I will create another one called course network status. Course network status article. Public description. Real-time operation is links are course network. Once again. And I will go to products, and here I will select this site status only, because actually the network processing status is, you have no network processing, so only site status can be shown here. So now, if you subscribe these two articles, you will also see that another entry will appear on your user portal, this kind of usage, and you will be able to see the status of the site. So So now if I log out and log in as a user, you can do the same. So we will see on the list of in the shop section, you will see, where is it? Rover status and code network status. So please buy now, subscribe now. Awaiting activation of service operator. And I will go again to this one and select the rover status. So again, I will select buy now, accept the terms, subscribe now. Yes. You don't have a rover, but at least the site status is interesting because you will see the status of the network, which stations, more or less you will be able to see this live status. Well, I'm looking at the administrator and I will subscribe, well, I will activate the subscriptions. Okay.
Really need to answer that next request.
Put request out. I'm also creating the advertise.
Just subscribe.
We are watching him doing it.
You subscribe. Unless kanaongoga kabla. Right next request.
Não creio isso. Fora isso. Okay.
Free of charge.
It's free of charge, yes.
Also, we should subscribe to the one. Would you also do what you did?
Yes. Then you should see. I want you to see this. So once you subscribe and once your subscription is activated, normally if you log in, you can see this live status here, and you can see the rover status, also site status. So you will always be able to see which sites are working, which sites are not working. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. On 7 sites are working. Now we have this. Linksa is also working. Yeah. But one of your stations is not working.
That one below.
This one. Okay. So you see, and the good thing is that you can see this one also on your mobile phone. So if you log in via your mobile phone, you should be able to see this site status. So you are more or less informed about the status of your network in real time, anytime, anywhere. You just need to see. You just log into your user account, user portal, and you see the status. And you would be also see your own rovers. And this type of rover status view can be used nicely for a group of rovers. Oh, this is one more thing which I think we didn't cover when we talk about this real-time status. And actually, you can create a user group. So first of all, I will wait until all of you subscribe. So anybody is subscribed to this? Yes. Right. So you can all subscribe also to this rover status and real-time status. And, but I don't see anyone. Which one is selected here? But I do not see it here. It's not pending. Rover status, yes, but the site status or the discourse network status, it's called. You see, there is another article called the rover status. Only shows you your rover, but it doesn't show you the status of the sites. So if you want, you should also subscribe to this course network status. So this, yes, this shows you the status of the core stations. Because otherwise, you would only be able to see your rover, but not the sites. Now this is also for the user. So the end user, as I said, I created two different articles. One just to show the rover position in the map, and the second article called Course Network Status, which shows the real-time operational status of Zinsa core station. So if you want to see whether the sites are receiving streaming data or are offline or any other status, then you should also subscribe to this. If you go to awaiting activation rover status, can you log out and log in? And if you log in again, yeah, you already see the live status, but you should be able to see just the rover status. Can you? So you see the rover status, but you don't see the sites. Click on it, you will see just empty. Yes, you don't see the stations. You don't see the status of the station. So this is the difference. You will only see the map. You will see your rover if your rover is connected, but actually you would not see if the stations are there. If the stations are, yes, only rover exactly. But you don't see the core station. So this is why. Yeah, I'm going to activate right now. So I have activated that one. And right. Now, okay, so now you should all who have requested the subscription, you should be able to see both the site status and also the rover status. Yes. Yeah, that too. Mm. Yes. All right. So if you log in, you have both. So if you log in, you should be able to see both the sites and also the rover, but your rover is not connected. Yes, you need to log out and log in. So normally the procedure is not done immediately. So basically, users will just subscribe, and then when they receive an email, then yes, exactly. You see, when you subscribe and your subscription is activated, you see a new entry on this left navigation panel. It's called Live Status, and it's a tree view, and normally you should see two sub trees, one called Site Status and one called Rover Status. So this is typical for this user portal. That basically the content of the user portal very much depends on the subscription status of each user. So depending on what subscriptions they have, then they will see this. There is one more thing which the end user can do. They can contact the administrators. So if they press contact, they can send an email, and normally they can even attach some files. So if you don't like this, if you don't want this option to be available, so this can be deactivated as well. So if you don't want your end users have this option, then you go to settings, preferences, and here on this, in this section general, you can, where is it? Maybe, okay, it was activated only in the new version of SBC. So we have included an option here to remove this contact administrator link from the user portal. So, but it is only available in the newer version of SBC. So we will only see it on Friday when we update your system. One last thing I wanted to tell you about are these user groups. I'm not sure if we talked about it, not yet. So user groups means that as an administrator, you can create a group of individual SBC accounts or SBC users, and you can manage this group as one entity. So imagine Zinxa will have 3 or 4 rovers. So normally you can create a group called Zinxa. What did I do? Sales of organization, direct sales, dealer, no. Description, well, whatever, Zinxa rover, SBC accounts, or Zinxa rovers, doesn't matter. So, and then you can add specific SBC accounts into this group. So, for example, I will add, where are you? Cuthbert, you are here. Bob, you're here. And Zuka, Zuka. So the 4 of you, oh, sorry, what is your, you don't have a computer. You still have account or you don't have an account? What is your, okay, let's add you as well. So, what is your name or something? Again? Oh, this one. Okay. Which one then? It's only 18. But are you sure you have a user account? You need to have a user account, not administrator. No. That's fine. Because you can create user groups only from user accounts, obviously. You are not part of, you are DSG.
Okay, fine. Okay.
This is for Zinxa. So for DSG, I can imagine they can create another user group called the DSG users. Okay. And once you create this group, you can also activate this display group members in live view, which means that these people will be shown together as a group in this live usage. So if you go to rover status, and if all 4 rovers or 3 rovers typically work in the field, so as a user, you would be able to see these 3 or these 4 rovers. So you can use it, or basically your end users can use this for some kind of better management of rovers when they're in the field. So imagine that you have a surveying company or some other company, they have some construction company, they have 4 or 5 rovers in the field. Obviously, the rovers do not know where they are, but thanks to this live view, you can have a manager of the group. So only one account needs to have basically subscription to rover status. And this, I would say, rover manager could see in live view where the rovers are. and the manager can actually send directly messages to rovers to basically organize the field work in a better and more efficient way, because he has an overview of what is doing where and how much is basically left to complete. So he can send directions to rovers where they need to go and what they need to measure. So this is one way how you can organize the user group. And another way is basically to organize subscriptions. So since you have a group, then you can also assign or activate something that we call a group subscription. So once again, I will select a group, let's say Zingsa. And since this is your network, these are your users, you can simply assign this all products article. As I have mentioned, this is a very special article, which includes all current products and also all future products. So whatever you create in the future, it will be automatically included in this all products. And this, if you activate it, then basically all four of you should see in your subscription now that you have a new subscription that was assigned by this group assignment. So Zuka as a user, if I go to view subscriptions, you see this all products, and it was added as part of this group assignment. So all four of you, you can see, you can check, you should see this this all products article assigned to you. And you can see this product actually it is a the expiry date is set to end of 2099. So basically, this is kind of lifetime product or lifetime subscription, which means that you will always, or the Zingsa users will always have this type of access to all products, even the future ones. So this is how you can manage groups of users. So typically, if you have a company, they have 10 rovers, or they want to have 10 SBC accounts. Yes, it's good that each of them creates his or her account, because then it's easier to track back who was doing what. But in fact, it's easier to manage them as a group, to subscribe them to articles as a group. And then you can even go to group subscriptions, where you will see that the subscription is active. If you view, you can see the members subscription. So you see one group subscription actually created these 4 individual subscriptions. So each subscription, one subscriptions for each user separately. And once again, you can delete the subscription, which means that it will remove all these individual subscriptions from your view. So now normally all individual subscriptions have been deleted, I hope. Yes, it looks like that. Oh, not really. They remain active. So in fact, when I deleted the group subscription, these remain active. Okay, then I need to check how this works. Normally, this should have been deleted with the group subscription, but they're still in here. So yeah. Well, so it means that the Zingsa users will always have access unless you delete it. So then, if you want to delete the subscription, then you delete them manually from the subscriptions view. So okay, you have, delete this all product subscriptions one. No. Today's the 30th. Okay, so this for 1, 2. Okay. Right. So these are the user groups and group subscriptions. So for management of larger number of SBC accounts. And okay,